Hey, it's Zach with a review redux on LEGO Star Wars set 7250 Clone Scout Walker from 2005. Yeah, I got a new review series called Review Reduxes where I revisit a classic LEGO Star Wars set I have reviewed in the past and improve upon showing off what the set has to offer, and also talk about some information about the set, including some obscure information about the set and the minifigures included in it that everyone might not know about. So yeah, without a further ado, let's get started at reviewing LEGO Star Wars set 7250 Clone Scout Walker from 2005. First, let's look at the minifigure. Here's the one and only minifigure in LEGO Star Wars set 7250. Clone Trooper Episode 3 Dark Red Markings, or Clone Trooper Episode 3 91st Reconnaissance Corps, or simply known as the Recon Clone. Now let's talk about it, starting the helmet first. Now, it is the Open Visor Phase 2 2005 Clone Trooper helmet sculpt, which almost every classic LEGO Clone Trooper has, with the exception of two of them. Yeah. Now, the way this one is distinguished between the plain Classic Episode 3 and all the other variants is the 91st Reconnaissance logo and the two dark red stripes above the brow trim. Other than that, it is basically just a regular Classic Episode 3 clone helmet with just some dark red marks. And then for the head, it is just a plain black minifigure head. And then the torso is a Classic Episode 3 clone torso, dark bluish gray, but with a dark red 91st Reconnaissance logo and a dark red stripe on the left breastplate. And then the back is, well, almost the same as a Classic Episode 3 clone's back, except it is quite different actually. Now, there's some dark red on one half of the back plate, and there is some greebling on this column above the thermal detonator cylinder. And I'd say it's probably one of the more unique looking back designs that these classic clones have. Almost every other classic clone has kind of a similar design, but I'd say this one's probably a nice unique looking basic grunt out of all of them. Besides the 452nd Siege Battalion minifigure from the Wookiee Catamaran set, which that is my favorite minifigure of all time. And also, this minifigure is actually on my top 3 classic LEGO clones that I like the most. This is actually at number 3, so this actually made it to the top 3 of my favorite classic LEGO clone minifigures. So, the more you know about me. But yeah, no arm detailing, no leg detailing. It's basically just, well, classic clone LEGO minifigure. What'd you expect? And the accessory this classic LEGO clone minifigure came with is a black bullhorn loudhailer stud combination blaster, which almost every classic LEGO Star Wars set had. If not, some of them had revolvers. But yeah. Anyways, pretty much not much else to talk about minifigure-wise. I'd say it's a pretty good minifigure. You get, well, a minifigure to pilot the walker, so yeah, pretty good. I'd say pretty good. Let's give it the blaster, and then let us talk about the main build of the set, the main attraction, the Scout Walker itself. Alright, time to talk about the build itself, the Scout Walker itself, or All-Terrain Recon Transport, or ATRT, which the 91st Reconnaissance Corps was mostly known for using, bark speeders and ATRTs. So yeah, the main feature of this set is to seat the clone in it. So let's take the 91st clone, let's stick the blaster in there, and then hinge this, and we just take them and seat them in there. Like that. Although I kind of did a terrible job, actually. And then these clips are kind of finicky, I noticed sometimes. There we go, that got it. Anyways, now, one of the few features with this set is, well, the main canopy here, the main cover, can hinge up like this, it can swivel like this, and also the gun can swivel as well. So it can like swivel like this. And then the gun is just a very basic build as well. It's got like a long barrel, then a shorter barrel at the end as well. And I like some of the like building techniques for this, such as these paddle pieces in gray. It's quite a nice way to have the like workings for this look. It's pretty nice. Then for the antenna, it's just a lever piece in light bluish gray. Now, let's talk about the legs. Now, the legs are kind of limited in like terms of like articulation. They're not very like fun to use. Like they're quite fixed in their position. Here you can move it quite freely, but here you can only move it to here, so it's like it is like this. So you can get into pretty limited poses, even though it's kind of tricky trying to get into poses without having it fall over like this. That's one of the disadvantages with having this set, is because of that, but this pose actually looks pretty good. This actually works. So that is one pose you can actually get this set and make it look pretty epic, actually. That's pretty spicy. Yeah. Another problem with this set as well, have you seen the scale of an AT-RT walker in the Star Wars universe? It's about twice the size of a clone trooper, which a regular clone trooper is 6 feet tall, and an AT-RT would probably be like 12 feet tall. Yeah, that's what mocks are for, though, to make accurate builds. But anyways, yeah, with that aside, still pretty good set, though, for 2005. This costed about $10 back then, and now that's like, you can find it used for about 20 bucks-ish. I got this one for $23, although you could probably find it cheaper, but the clone itself has actually kind of gone up in value, especially in Canada. It's kind of gotten a bit pricey. So yeah, it's kind of sad. Well, I have a nice number of them, so it's not really too much of a bother, but yeah. I guess, well, this is the LEGO Star Wars Set 7250 Clone Scout Walker build and minifigure. So let's look at the instructions, and I could probably talk about obscure facts or whatnot, because I do have a couple. So here is the front cover. It shows Kashyyyk, some explosions, some plants, some orange blaster bolts being fired at the walker, and the recon clone itself. Doesn't seem to be missing the symbol, or is it actually there, or is that just low resolution on the picture? Well, it could be a prototype. We'll never know. And it shows in some pose that probably you couldn't really get it to do in real life without it falling over, and then the canopy part and the swivel on that as well. And then, well, very basic, very bland gray construction with some orange at the bottom as well. Very basic and easy to follow instructions, so it's pretty easy to build. And then for here, it shows off some of the fun features of the set, which I just showed off, along with 2 alternative builds I might actually review. Especially this one. I'd actually tried this one years ago, but it was quite flimsy. But I will probably do a review on the alternative builds for this thing. Both of them. So, yeah. Although there are a few tutorials for that one, like snowspeeder looking alternative build on YouTube, so that's good. Alright, that just shows the advertisements for the rest of the 2005 set, such as Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, the Vulture Droid, Darth Vader Transformation, ARC 170, Duel on Mustafar, Tri-Droid Starfighter, Clone Turbo Tank 2005 version of Light Up Windu, the Clone Scout Walker, the one in the video, the Wookiee Catamaran, the one with my favorite LEGO Clone Trooper minifigures, and the Wookiee Attack, and General Grievous Chase as well. Yeah, pretty good wave of sets. So people say, oh, they're overrated, or oh, they're good. But to me, I'd say they did what they did. I'd say this is a pretty good set. I'd say I recommend it if you're collecting classic LEGO clones and just want some nice, neat little build for, well, your like classic clones to have around, like a nice vehicle for them to ride or whatnot. And, well, yeah, I guess now we could talk about facts about this build, and then we can, like, end the video. Basically just little tidbits of information, like facts and other things that wouldn't really fit with the rest of the review, but except now. So, yeah, let's talk about them. Alright, now time to talk about some obscure bits of information and also some tidbits as well, is that This set appeared in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, where it was a rideable vehicle and also one that could be piloted by enemies as well, in the Defense Kashyyyk level in Episode 3. Although sadly, the Clone Trooper Episode 3 Dark Red Markings did not pilot it, and it was instead just piloted by a plain Episode 3 Clone Trooper. And well, speaking of Clone Trooper Episode 3 Dark Red Markings, in the game it is not called Dark Red Markings, it is called Clone Trooper Episode 3 Walker. And another interesting thing about the Clone Trooper Episode 3 Walker, or Dark Red Markings, whatever you wish to call it, is that there is a variation of it on LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga's box art, where it is dark blue. If you see below Slave Princess Leia's elbow, you'll see a classic Episode 3 Clone Trooper with some dark blue stripes above the brow trim and faintly a 91st logo on it. So it is actually a recolor of the classic Episode 3 Dark Red Markings, or 91st Reconnaissance that we all know and love, just in dark blue. And while another little very obscure bit of information is that there is a physical representation of this that was made by BX Customs, and I have 3 of it, so I just thought I'd throw that out there, is that it does exist technically, but it's kind of rare and obscure even then. It's kind of like an don't count on it if you're trying to find it, but it doesn't hurt to look, so yeah. Anyways, another little interesting thing is that the design of the classic Episode 3 clone minifigure that came in this set actually was in some concept art for Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where it was one of the original 6 designs that were going to be used for Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, and only 1.5 got used, that being the 501st and the 91st Reconnaissance Corps. The 442nd, 7th Legion, 5th Fleet Security, and 38th Armor Division went cut and only got made into merchandise. And, yeah, you know, that sort of thing just fell into obscurity. Especially after Disney bought, like, Lucasfilm and Star Wars, and then it even went even more obscure. So, yeah, it just kept falling farther and farther in obscurity, and well, then it is talked about by me. So, yeah, that's something. And it's kind of sad seeing all these little ideas and concepts just get thrown away. But yeah, anyways, another little interesting tidbit or information about this is that this LEGO Star Wars set appears in Star Wars Revenge of the Brick. You remember that really weird 2005 LEGO Star Wars like animation where the like minifigures looked really creepy? This set actually made a little cameo in the Kashyyyk like segment, where the clones showed up in a turbo tank and the like Wookiees and droids were fighting and the like Jedi were there too. This like walker is seen walking around, and also it's also seen getting destroyed as well. So rest in peace, Clone Scout Walker. You will forever be missed. And while this last one is some very, very common like knowledge, that the ATRT is an acronym for All-Terrain Recon Transport, although I already talked about that when I was reviewing the set. So yeah, that is all of the little tidbits and information about this set and the minifigure that I had to tell. So yeah, this is the thrilling conclusion of my first ever review redux of a LEGO Star Wars set. So stay tuned for more of these review reduxes, because they will be coming out. For such as LEGO Star Wars Set 7655, the Clone Troopers Battle Pack, aka my favorite LEGO Star Wars set of all time, and Battle Pack of all time too. So yeah, you best be looking out for that. So yeah, well, that is all for now. Bye.